Still on the fourth part, using Ichimoku in trading binary options, trading the medium-term time frames, and one of the most important time frame here is the 4-hour chart. Why is that? Because like mentioned on the previous recording, 4-hour chart is associated with fixings on the regular market, and fixings are something, let's say, that people take into consideration, because flows are most likely to affect prices, and when prices are being affected, it means volatility is high, and if volatility is high, then we should be aware what kind of binary options to start to trade. Now the 4-hour chart, like mentioned earlier, is important only because of that, because of the fixings associated with the majority of brokers. And the binary options recommended to be traded on the 4-hour chart are options with medium-term expiration date. End of day expiration date can be used if price is reaching a specific level at specific fixing times, but my recommendation would be here to look for either end of week or end of or 1 week expiration date. So let's say that for this 4-hour chart, options to be recommended are end of day expiration. Of course, we are looking also for end of week expiration in order to avoid consolidation and or in order to take advantage of consolidation, so end of week expiration, or we might have also 1 week expiration. That should be enough for this kind of options, depending very much on the pattern or the situation you might have. Now, one-touch options ideally can be traded on specific patterns here. So you have options with medium-term expiration date. So medium-term expiration date based on the 4-hour chart. Then, of course, we are looking for one-touch options, like the example we gave on the previous recording with that contracting triangle you are seeing there on the top of the screen. So one-touch option. Whenever you are having one-touch option, then look for identify ranges on this time frame. So identifying ranges or patterns that form consolidation areas, like it is this contracting triangle here. And of course, you might have the possibility to use the option builder tool to customize your binary option, and this might be a way to go starting with this time frame, as Ichimoku allows properly identification potential bouncing or rejecting areas. Now, based on the Ichimoku Kinko Hero elements, the following strategies can be applied. You should look for a market to be in a transitory cycle, as explained earlier in this project. So we are looking for a transitory cycle. This is a trending cycle to the downside. By the moment the Chinko here goes above the price in front of it, the transitory cycle begins. Then wait for the Chinko, the green line, to test the cloud. It is not testing the cloud yet, but wait for the Chinko to test the cloud. And then look for a bounce if the previous market before the transitory cycle was bullish, and a rejection if the previous market before the transitory cycle was bearish. So let's try to identify a proper example for what we said here. So this is a bullish cycle. Then a transitory cycle begins here. A transitory cycle begins here, and we should wait for the Chinko to test the cloud. Chinko, it is testing the cloud here. So look for a bounce if the previous market before the transitory cycle was bullish. Well, the previous market here was bullish, so this was a bullish environment. So the previous market was bullish, and here the transitory cycle begins here, and here is bullish. Here the transitory cycle begins as well, and by the time the Chinko it is touching the cloud, So by the time Chincoid is touching the cloud, look for a bounce to happen. Now you have to imagine that Chincoid is projected back 26 periods, and 26 periods from this moment of time means this moment. So here we are engaging in buying calls because we are looking for price to go higher from this moment of time. As you can see, it was a nice bounce from 132.32 to all the way up to 134.51. So that would be interpreted as being a nice possible area to go, as the drawdown here was quite slim, as you can see. And regardless how you choose your expiration date, you had plenty of time here, because from this moment to this high here, and even going to this contracting triangle, this price never went to the downside until, let's see, until 75 candles. So for 75 candles, so for whole this period here, this was enough, 75 candles, enough to all the options or the buying calls were being buying calls at the beginning would be profitable for 75 periods, or candles in this case. Now you multiply 75 by 4 and you will see that we had quite a nice profitable area here. So with the examples that I give, we've done here, sorry, on this 4-hour chart, basically buying calls here, then you have a contracting triangle here, one touch option on this area, and then going to the downside into this environment. So you have basically all this time enough strategy, so to say, or one strategy for each and every possibility that you have on the chart. So let's move on with the daily chart to see how the daily chart can be traded with binary options and how to use the Ichimoku in this case. So stay tuned, please.